Hello beautiful people, I'm DJ and welcome back to my channel Indian Cooks and Books. Today I'm coming to you from a little weird angle, I mean camera angle, but also an angle that I haven't done a video about. I'm basically going to be talking about my type, what I'm attracted to in terms of books. Of course, not a romantic partner kind of way, but I have this list of books that I am interested in right now, and I have some different things about each book that have attracted me to that book. So I'm going to be telling you what I like in books and what I am currently interested in. When I'm looking for books, I'm window shopping for books on Goodreads. Sometimes when I'm procrastinating, it's my favorite way of procrastination actually. So let's get started. The first book is called The Echo Wife by I don't know who. I'm so unprofessional, but I know two things about it. It is about clones and it is a thriller recommended by Books and Lala. And first thing, again, the books that I'm attracted to are the books sometimes that are recommended by people that I really love to watch on BookTube, and Books and Lala. Kayla from Books and Lala is one of them. I've been watching her for years now, and I really like her recommendations in terms of thriller books. So I'm going to pick this one up, The Echo Wife. She read it in her reading vlog recently, and she loved it. 5 stars I think she gave it, or 4.5 stars, and I'm sold. The next book is called The Other Black Girl, and I think I have seen a bunch of people talk about it, but I think Books and Bow talked about it in their video, and it is about a girl who works in publishing and who is black, and she feels like she's a token black woman in the workplace. But then another black woman joins, and she is kind of happy in the beginning, but then she starts becoming, the other black woman starts becoming the favorite, and she, I think, feels some type of way about it. So I'm interested in that. So this book is also talked about, and it's important in terms of race and discussions on that. But I also like books which have anything to do with publishing, or books inside them, books inside a book. I am probably likely to check it out. Then the third book is called The Plot, again a book inside a book. It's by Jean Hanff Correlates. I'm butchering the name I think, but it is about an MFA professor who kind of steals a plot from an ex-student who is probably dead or something, and the stolen plot is supposed to be brilliant, and there is something happens after that, and I'm really interested in that because it is books within a book, and another few bookish people have talked about it, and that's why I'm interested in it. The next book is called The Final Girl Support Group. It is about a support group of girls who are left standing after the credits roll, or when the credit rolls roll in a horror movie, and that premise sounds interesting. I don't usually go for horror books or something too grotesque, but sometimes my morbid curiosity just wins, and this is probably the case in this case. So that is a thing. Sometimes I get attracted to dark books for no apparent reason. The next book is called Intimacies by Katie Kitamura. So if you have a Japanese name, or if you have a non-Japanese first name and a Japanese last name, or vice versa, I am more likely to check out the books that are written by these authors: Gail Tsukiyama, David Karashima, Emily Itami, Katie Kitamura. And this book is doubly interested to me because it is the main character is an interpreter. I work as a translator, not like any fancy literary, just boring documents, but I am interested in that field. So if somebody is an interpreter or a translator in a book, I am definitely interested in it. And this woman is lost, kind of. She's a woman of many languages and places, and she's looking for a home, searching for a home, and I quite like that concept too. The next book is called Milk Fed by Melissa Broder. It is also talked about widely on BookTube, and I think it has some queer, or I think sapphic representation. I'm not sure though. I think I've heard that. And it's also about obsessive food rituals and calorie counting. And then there is at some point in this book, there is a communication hiatus or communication ban between a mother and daughter. Again, this kind of family relationship stuff, mother-daughter relationship stuff is interesting to me. Plus, I really like to read books which have queer representation, and if I've heard this book is also funny, so that is major plus. If on top of all these interesting things, it is also funny. Next book I'm interested is called Filthy Animals by Brandon Taylor, who wrote Real Life, and I read that last year and I liked it. So another thing that I find attractive about books is if the author of that book has written a book that I have previously liked or loved, I would more likely check that new book out. So this book is about linked stories of young creatives in American Midwest. Sounds perfectly interesting. Next book is called Poppy Show, I don't know how to pronounce this, by Leonie Ross, and it is a world where magic is everywhere and love awaits and politics are broken. So I don't really know a lot about politics, and I don't have a lot of knowledge, but I do like it when some books have some sort of introduction to politics kind of thing. So I like this about this book. So I also like the name. I don't understand. I'm intrigued by the name. I don't know what that means, and sometimes I just find the title intriguing, so I choose the book. Next is called Fault Lines by Emily Itami, and it is about a Japanese housewife who is kind of not communicating well with her husband, and she from outside has a lot of good things, but she's unsatisfied, and then she meets another person who makes her excited about her life, and the story goes from there. I'm interested in that because I quite like about reading about Japanese society and thinking about that. I think I have also got this recommendation on Books and Bow channel. I quite like their channel for Japanese books, sometimes Japanese translated books, and sometimes just books about Japan. And the next book is called Another Life by Jodie Chapman, and it's about these two young people, Nick and Anna, and they work in a cinema as a summer job. They're young, but Anna has been raised in a religion where they believe in the end of the world, and they have strong beliefs, so their romance doesn't work out, and later, after a few years, they are reunited. This story sounds interesting to me because it has some sort of strong religion element, and I'm agnostic. I do not know what to believe in. So maybe that's why books about religion or books that have religious elements are attractive to me. Another few examples about of these kind of books are Transcendent Kingdom by Ya Jasi. It has strong religious elements, and I really like that book. And a YA romance book called Autobiography. I think one of the characters is a Mormon, and that faith is explored in that book and some negative aspects of it, and I found that one also interesting. So that is a book, that is a thing that I find interesting in books, religion. Then the next book is called The Husbands. I don't know why exactly I am interested in this book. I think YouTube pushed it on me. Not YouTube, Goodreads pushed it on me. Sometimes the Goodreads might have these banners on the homepage where they just push some books at you and then you check them out and the synopsis looks interesting enough, and this is the case. I think this is about a woman who is an attorney, but she's kind of struggling on the home front. Her husband is not too helpful, I think, and then she meets this group of powerful women who are like very elite, and they have supportive husbands as well, and they are killing it. And then something happens and she steps in as a lawyer for one of the women, and things go from there. That sounds interesting, but I have no idea why it came on my radar, this book. Just, it's Goodreads telling me to read books. Then the next book is called Dara Shastri's Last Day by Kirtana Ramisetti. So another element I like in my books currently is books that have something to do with South Asian subcontinent or South Asia, and this book is like that, and it is about this dying billionaire matriarch who leaks news of her death early so that she can examine her legacy. This also kind of gives me a little bit of Evelyn Hugo vibes, where this woman is like manipulating media about her own death, and that made me interested in this book. Also, the cover of this book, I think, has a picture or an illustration that is kind of inspired by this Bollywood actress called Rekha, and that is also something interesting. I sometimes just choose books that I find the covers interesting of. I'm really shallow that way. I might just cover by a book sometimes, and I like that. So these are some things that I like in books, and I find some of these things attractive in books. Tell me, what do you find attractive in books? What kind of books do you tend to choose? At least currently you are into those kind of things. What kind of things you are into? Tell me in the comments. Let's have a chat. And as always, I've had a lot of fun chatting with you guys, and I hope to continue doing so. And I will see you in next week's video. Until then, bye bye, take care.